This is a joint press statement issued by members of the Youth in Africa Anti-Corruption Network, the Yali Network, Elite West Africa Nigerian Network, and other concerned youth networks around this country. We, the members of this network, have watched with great shock and disbelief the development ensuing from the investigation of the National Assembly on the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. It is disheartening to receive the news of grand-scale corruption in the commission. We are deeply saddened that despite the untold sufferings and abject poverty of the people in the Niger Delta region, it is regrettable, however, that the agency, saddled with the responsibility of ameliorating the suffering of the region, has become a cash cow for a few people. We are indeed dismayed with the accusation and counter-accusation between the Minister of the Niger Delta, Senator Akpabio, and the SY Managing Director of the Commission, Dr. Joy Nonye, as well as the shameful drama presented by Professor Pondei, the Acting Managing Director of the Commission. It is on account of these trending allegations, accusations, and revelations that we make the following statements as organized young people of this country. 1, we commend the federal government and Mr. President for the decision to carry out a forensic audit on the Commission. And we commend the National Assembly for carrying out their oversight function on ensuring effectiveness in the management of public institutions in Nigeria. The probe of this commission in the past weeks have given Nigerians, and indeed the global community, the opportunity to digest the brazen financial misappropriations, theft, and colossal abuse of office in the commission. We commend the media also for bringing to light these revelations, but it must not end here. The investigations must continue and must be made public at all times. We have watched with great disdain the drama displayed by Professor Keme Bradikumo Pondei, the acting MD of the Commission at the National Assembly. When on cross-examination of his stewardship, he pretended to have fainted. At the same time, he was conscious enough to remove the hands of those who came to help him regain consciousness due to the pain caused by these hands on his mouth. We view this as a distraction on the part of Professor Pondei and a calculated attempt to forestall the ongoing investigation on the Commission. And we urge the National Assembly to resist the temptations of discharging Professor Pondei from further investigation or interrogation. The mandate he's holding on behalf of the people of the Niger Delta, he holds the mandate on behalf of the people of the Niger Delta. The office of the Managing Director of the Commission is a position of trust, and accountability must be rendered at all times. We demand that the people entrusted with responsibility of our Commonwealth should face justice and be accountable to the citizen, and they should not serve themselves. On account of that, we vehemently reject the statement of the Speaker of the House of Representatives that Professor Pondei might be excluded from further interrogation upon the alleged ill health. We therefore call on the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives and members of the committee to reschedule another day for the continuation of the investigation of Professor Pondei on account of his stewardship. We shall view a failure to reschedule this investigation as an act of complicity on the part of the National Assembly on the allegation made by Senator Akpabio. We believe failure to reschedule the acting managing director to testify means that the National Assembly is conspiring to cover the crimes of some of our members as alleged by the Minister of the Niger Delta. In addition, the Youth in Africa Anti-Corruption Network, the Yali Network, Elite West Africa Nigeria, and other young people hereby call on the removal and the prosecution of the Minister of the Niger Delta, Senator Akpabio. We call for the removal of the acting MD, the commissioners, and every person involved in this commission who are in one way or the other involved in grand-scale corruption. It is unimaginable to know that a few people shared billions of naira as COVID-19 take-home salary, while the masses in the region languish in penury. The 81.5 billion naira spent by the Commission during the COVID-19 lockdown was reckless, and this has to stop. Furthermore, we call on the National Assembly to expose all her members alleged to have been involved in this grand-scale scam to defraud the people of the Niger Delta of their right to experience development through the NDDC. In the bid to unravel the truth, we call on the protection of all witnesses who are involved in investigations. We hereby call on the Inspector General of Police to live up to the essence of his duty, which is to protect the lives of the citizens. All attempts by alleged conspirators in this corruption scam to threaten witnesses as a way of thwarting the truth must be discouraged and resisted by the police force. We call on the state government in the Niger Delta and their various houses for assembly to commence their own investigation on the alleged project carried out by NDDC in their state. We also demand for the publication of the names of the contractors, the projects, the amount and level of completion of each project for the sake of transparency. In addition, we call on the National Assembly and Mr. President to intervene in the release of the funds for youth on scholarship abroad. It is a national embarrassment to know that Nigerians abroad under NDDC scholarship are now turning beggars in a foreign land. We also use this medium to speak to our fellow youth in the Niger Delta region and other youth structures to desist from participating in any unreasonable protest in favor of corrupt public officers who have stolen our commonwealth. Let such protests be against those who have stolen and not in support of them. Make no mistakes about this. We are non-political, we are non-governmental, and we are non-religious groups. So we are sending a strong warning to leadership of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, to refrain from supporting corrupt public office holders. The views of the NANS president published online allegedly supporting Senator Akpabio does not represent the voice of the youth in Nigeria. In the coming weeks, we will be in touch with regional youth structures across the country to present a common front on this issue. And we say that failure for the government to respond to our demand for good governance and accountability as regards this NDDC probe will be met with nationwide protest. We cannot allow our commonwealth to service a few greedy people at the expense of the deprived, of the poor, the sick, and dying people of the Niger Delta. Those who have stolen our commonwealth should be persecuted and jailed. We feel that some of our older generation who occupy some of these positions of authority are failing us, we the young people of this country. And we can no longer be silent about this. So here is our summary of our demands. 1, that the SY Managing Director of the NDDC, Dr. Joy Nonye, should be properly investigated by the Code of Conduct Bureau. 2, we demand the suspension of the Minister of the Niger Delta, Senator Akpabio, immediately. We demand the immediate suspension of the acting Managing Director of the Commission, and indeed, the whole of the IMC. We call on the National Assembly to continue their investigation on the Commission and its officials. We call on the National Assembly to reinvite the acting Managing Director of the NDDC for full investigation. And we demand that the federal government pay all outstandings of our youth and students abroad. We call on the protection of witnesses in the ongoing probe by the police force. And we also demand that EFCC, ICPC, and the Code of Conduct Bureau should immediately commence full-blown investigations into the alleged financial crimes and abuse of office in the Niger Delta Development Commission. Finally, we speak to you, Mr. President. Now is the time for you to make true your promise to the people, the promise to kill corruption before corruption kills us. Mr. President, you have secured your re-election for the second time. You really do not have anything to lose at this time. Now is the time to make true your promises and write your name in gold. We urge you to ensure that all those fingered in these alleged corrupt practices and financial misappropriation in the Niger Delta Development Commission to be properly dealt with. This probe should not be swept under the carpet. Let justice reign, and the time to do so is now. The time to do so is now. We, the youth of this country, we are watching and waiting. We should all speak. We expect governors, commissioners, let them speak about this injustice to our people. Unless we speak up against this injustice, we are all contributing to the problem of our people. So we are not waiting for the older generation to speak. That's why we, the organized youth, the young people of this country, have come together under this platform. And in the coming weeks, like we mentioned in our statement, we will be in touch with other organized youth structures. We will ensure that government listens to our cry, because we are the majority in the country. Unless the government listens to the cries of the young people, government has not served the needs of the people. So, and any attempt to sweep this case under the carpet like has happened in the past, there's going to be a nationwide protest. We're going to organize group. We are going to meet, we are going to resist corruption with soul force. We are going to resist corruption with intelligence. We are going to resist corruption with the wills, power of the people who believe that government is of the people, by the people, and for the people.